Ultra Naté, live and in color. Thank you so much for joining us here at AFRAM 50. How are you feeling?
I'm very excited. I'm happy to be home. It means a lot to be here for this 50th of AFRAM. I mean, I've been coming to AFRAM since I was a kid, so it's really humbling to be here on stage and for the 50th.
And that was my question to you, actually. My very question. This is 50, but your hometown. So did you come? Were you coming to AFRAM when you were a little girl?
I
when
was.
You were coming up?
Since it was down at the harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell us. But first off, folks who know you know this. I'm going to throw this out, and I'm going to ask you to fill in the blank.
Here we go.
Odell's You Know If
You Belong.
Thank you.
Clearly.
Okay.
You came through that whole world of Odell's.
I'm in the pipeline.
Did too.
Yeah.
I did too. That was a whole scene. That was a vibe before it was a vibe.
Absolutely.
Tell us how that inspired your career from that point of view.
That was it. That was the platform. I mean, I was going into medicine. When I graduated from Dunbar, I started at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and I was planning to be a doctor, actually. And somewhere along the lines, I discovered Odell's, and it changed the complete trajectory of my life. I started clubbing, just walking into that space. I still remember how overwhelming that sound system was, the culture that was there of just transcending where you were in that moment. You went to the club to leave it all on the dance floor. So whatever your issues were, you had community there. There was a power in the connection that was happening, and that was really all-encompassing for me at the time. And so it was out of that culture that I started making records with the Basement Boys when they formed their production company. And we were all just a bunch of like little wild kids just hanging out in the studio, creating beats and, writing little scribbly, words over something and just kind of freestyling is what I did when I recorded my first song, It's Over Now, with the boys, right here in the Druid Hill area. And that song got me signed to Warner UK. And that pretty much started everything from there, 38 years ago.
38 years ago.
I mean, you're mentioning you're headquartered here. Baltimore is home, but you could be anywhere, essentially.
I could be anywhere, and usually I'm everywhere.
But
yeah.
why here? Why did you decide to keep this as your home base?
I think it's important. I mean, just the kind of person that I am, I feel like roots are very important. I feel like it's grounding. I could, through many years, just jump on an airplane and go anywhere in the world and be known, and then come home to Baltimore, and I'm just regular people and hanging out with my friends, people that I grew up with. I'm driving through streets where I went to elementary school or junior high. I have history there, and for me, that element was really, really important, especially through my career, through the highs and even through the lows. It's really important to have that grounding force within you. And so Baltimore's music culture has always been really important to me. I started my own party, Deep Sugar, like 23 years ago, to continue the culture of house music, dancing, community inclusion, because what we created here in Baltimore, these little kids doing rudimentary beats in the underground down the street.
That's right.
Impacted world culture for dance music. That is now the largest selling genre of music out there.
You clearly have, through your career, gone against the grain.
Yes.
You were going pre-med. Mm-hmm. You decided to do a music career.
Yes.
You added rock guitars to dance beats when it was just drums and bass.
Absolutely.
What is that in you that tells you, if you're going to do it that way, I'm going to do it this way?
I think, again, it's a couple of things. One, it's my mother. Just her general influence has always been that I don't need license for anything that I think I'm big enough to do.
Oh, that's
powerful.
That's a great motto.
And so just anything that kind of inspired me to give it a shot, I just kind of approached it with fearlessness. And even if I was afraid, I still went forward and just kind of never got caught up in the fear of making a fool of myself or making a mistake. I think that's where a lot of artists lose their footing, is that they want so much assurance that it's all right, that all the bells and whistles are there. That's the beauty of coming from the underground, because we're used to working with raw material of just our imagination. And so having a platform like Baltimore, where we're built with grit anyway, as a blue-collar city, as a city that was seen as kind of second-class citizenship globally. Many years people would try to put me from New York, and I would always correct the record.
You're like, I'm from Charm City.
Because I think that gives you a bit more license to experiment, because they can't try to paint you in a box of being perfect, whatever their version of perfect is. So if I'm not living by anyone else's rules, I'm free, literally and figuratively, to express myself, whatever that looks like in that moment.
Did you just throw a song title in there? Is that what you just did?
Yes.
You didn't just throw
Naté.
free in there.
I was going to say,
No way.
we are so glad you are ours here in Baltimore. Thank you so much for spending time with us,
you.
even though it was brief. AFRAM 50, Ultra Naté.